Alright YouTube, welcome to another episode of technical interview question, which is JavaScript based. Now in this question, this is the question number 10. In this question we are going to look at how to parameterize a string. What do I mean by that? You'll see the space is replaced with the hyphen, and we are going to use these all the function. In this, mostly we are going to focus on the regEx, which is regular expression. Fine, as like previous video, we have already seen how to access the input field value, and on click I want to run a function, and that function is simply the param. Fine, let's access the input field using the query selector, and this input field I'm going to store it into a variable called input. And to access the input field value, we'll be using the property value dot value. Fine, now with the input field value I just want to trim it so that I can ignore the space in front and back of the string. So let me console and show you what do I mean by that. If I add some space and type my name, you'll see the space is ignored because of the trim. Please note the trim will only work on front and back, not in the middle of the word. That you can see the space in between two words is not removed. And making it after trimming it, I want to make the text lowercase. I'm typing it in the capital form. Now if I click on a button, you'll see the words will be in the small case. It's because of the function toLowerCase function. Now we are going to use the replace function of the string. We are going to remove the space. For that we'll be using the regular expression symbol or syntax, you can say, and this is how we write regular expression syntax. G, that simply means don't stop at 1, and to target only the space I'll be using backward slash and then S. S simply refers to the space. Now the space is targeted and it will be replaced with the hyphen. Now if you want, you can store these logic into a variable called new string, and you can use this string as an output using the console log. We have already covered 2 episodes, and this is the 3rd episode starting from the question 10. Fine. Now if you see, if I type space, or you can say if I type comma, the comma is also there along with the hyphen. I need to remove it. So for that, what I'll do is, to remove the comma, let me show you again what do I mean. You can see there is comma while I'm inserting it, and I want to remove this comma. How we are going to do it? We would replace a non-word character, which is, we want to replace anything, we want to replace those things with nothing. That's why I have inserted double quotes. Now find A to Z, capital A to capital Z, and 0 to 9, and include underscore as well, and a space. If you find any of these, you have to replace it with, let's ignore the space, now you will see we just have to make space as well. And what it does is, it is going to exclude capital letter, small letter, and a digit from 0 to 9. And it will replace it with nothing. And I think exclude is not the right word, we can use include, I guess. Skipped all symbol. If we target other than small a to z, capital A to z, and 0 to 9, the only thing that is left is simply the symbol. So we are replacing the symbol with nothing. So if I add some more symbol, percentage and bracket, you'll see those values are ignored. I have added percentage sign, comma, and a round bracket, opening and closing. So if I paste it on the input field and click on sub and click on the button, you'll see the symbol is has got removed and replaced with text. And this is another interview question. This is the question 11th, I guess it's technically 11th, and we want to capitalize the first letter of each word in string. Like you can see, each word has a capital letter as a starting, and these are the function we are going to use, and we are going to mainly focus on the regular expression. As like in the previous video, what we do is we type something on the input field and get the value while clicking on the button. The same way I'm going to get the input field using the query selector and passing the input tag, and I'm going to store it into a input variable, and to get the value we'll be using the property dot value. And let me rename the variable name as input value, as technically it stores the value of the input. Now what are we going to do? We are simply going to get, let me copy this one. This is a simple word. What we need is we need to create a function. Let me make it nameless. It doesn't matter if you make name or nameless. Let me make it anonymous. We want to access the string and we will be passing it as a parameter. So we need to get the first letter with the charAt. CharAt 0 simply refers to v, and to get the other letter of the word, and before that I want to make it to uppercase because the first letter should be uppercase in our case. And I need the other letter other than the first letter. For that I'll be using substring or slice. We have already covered what substring and sliced is. 0 simply refers to the v, and these are the index, and we want other than v. So for that I'll target 1 substring. I'll pass the 1, or you can use slice as well, both does the same operation. And we'll be passing this function inside as a argument for the replace. So we'll be using the regular expression. So we need to get the word. Don't stop at the, I need to pass this as a second argument. Don't worry about the regular expression, I will cover it right now. So if we see, if I click, it has returned. I have not consoled anything so that we can see on the console. So if you paste the text on the input field and click on a button, you'll get the first value capitalized, and that is working. So what does this do? W simply refers to the word. So every word is passed to the txt. This is the txt. Every matching is getting replaced with the txt. So we can pass two parameter. Either first is txt, which is match text, and the second one is simply the index. So if I show you the index, you'll get the index. Let me comment the console. So as I said, we can pass two parameter. The first one is simply the matched text, and the second one is simply index of the matched text. So at present we don't need this. We'll be getting it everything on a single line. So let me show you how does it works. 0, let me add an index. Space is also considered over here, 10, 11 and so on. So 0 to 0 and 2, from 0 till 2. So it is referring to this single word. And from 3 to 9, and again a space is added. You can see 0, 1 and 2. Now 3 to 9, from 3 to 8 is a word, or you can say a name, and 9 is simply the space. Every single word is passed as an argument. Here the argument is simply the txt. As we have already seen, character is simply the index, and this txt is simply the matched text. So by now you might have understood how we have created the, as I said, txt is simply the match text and character is simply the index. You will get the index. You might have understood why I have used nameless function over there, because we would be getting the parameter from the replace function. Let me type another text and let's check whether it is working or not. The goal of this video is to make every word capital in a single sentence. I is converted, J is converted, I, M, E. Let's get into another tutorial. Sorry, another question. This is technically 12th. Convert uppercase letter to lowercase. This is the total uppercase, and we have got the lowercase, and this is the total lowercase, and we have got uppercase, and this is the mixture of upper and lower. So the lower is converted to upper and the upper is converted to lower. And let me, you can see this is also a mixture. Starting letter is small, and these are the function which we are going to use in this video, or you can say in this question. Just like every time, we are going to get the input field value with the help of query selector, and to get the value we'll be using the property value. And let me name a string. We'll store the output in a new string. So before that, we will be performing some operation, or we will be performing some logic on the past input field value. So this is simply the word. So this is simply the word. We want to replace what we need to find in the word. every small letter. We need to get the every small letter and we need to convert it into array. The small letter simply refers to A to Z in the regular expression pattern. Do not stop at 1. So not to stop at 1, so for that we'll be adding A to Z plus. So pass this like the same way we want to make it for the capital letter as well. So do not stop the search at the first look. We need to add plus to it so that it can go for the other n or more than one. The plus simply refers to n or more than one. That is, we need to get the output once or more than once. We'll be using or. You might have seen we have used previously the character. So we are passing two syntax over here, so we won't be getting the we won't be getting the index number as a character. We will be getting a word. So let me show you. So the function can have two things. The first one is matched text and the second one is matched index. Since we are passing two symbols or two regEx pattern, in place of matched character index we'll be getting the matched text, or you can say matched letter. In this case it's a matched letter. Search for small. This is a string and the matched text is I is ignored. And the matched index is the left out things. This we have already seen in the previous question. So if there is a match, we will be using the ternary operator. We want to convert the first, which is true, to if there is a match, then convert the matched text to uppercase. Why uppercase? It is because the pattern we have passed is small and capital. Small to uppercase and capital to lowercase. Let me remove it and check the output. We have to return it and store the logic to a new string, or to a new variable, and let me name it as new string, and let me console the new string so that we can see the output. And that's working. And that's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening.